Six-pack abs, it's Thomas Delauer about to drop some science on you when it comes down to doing the impossible. Starving, not eating, absolutely making sure that you wither away, not. All right, what I'm talking about today is intermittent fasting, but 5 easy and effective ways that you can get through your fasting period without losing your mind, but also without losing all the progress that you've been working towards. So I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to explain the 5 simple things that you can start doing while you're not eating that are going to keep you a little bit preoccupied, but also have some hormonal effects that are going to make it so you're actually less hungry to begin with. Here's the thing we have to remember about intermittent fasting. If you break your fast at all, and I mean one little pepita, one little pumpkin seed, it's kicking you out of that fasting window. You're losing the benefits, you're nullifying all the positive effects that you've worked so hard to achieve. So why don't I just give you these tips and we can get right down to it. Tip number 1, pretty obvious, drink a bunch of water. Now you're probably tuning out already saying, okay, this guy is just dropping some really boring stuff on me. But the American Academy of Dietetics actually did a study, and they found that those that consumed literally just 1 to 2 glasses of water before eating, about 20 minutes before eating, consumed between 75 and 100 less calories. That's pretty significant coming from just 1 or 2 cups of water. You see, it still triggers the satiation mechanisms within your body. So it helps secrete certain hormones that are going to make it so you're less hungry. But there's an additional benefit as well. We've all heard that drinking water has a detoxing component, right? Well, we have to factor in something a little bit more additional when we're fasting. You see, our liver is producing byproducts that help us get benefits from a fasting period. We're talking about small amounts of beta-hydroxybutyrate, small amounts of chemical signaling that happens from the liver. Well, if the liver is dehydrated and we're not pushing things through it properly because we're dehydrated, then the liver isn't able to function at its best and isn't able to produce these compounds as effectively, meaning we're not getting as much fat loss benefit. So yes, there is a correlation between water and fat loss. The next tip is coffee or tea. And this isn't simply because the caffeine is going to keep you satiated. It actually goes a little bit deeper than that. You see, coffee contains something that's called Peptide YY, also known as PYY. Research is now finding that PYY is a satiation hormone in and of itself. And elevated levels of PYY signal the brain to tell you not to eat. So when you drink that cup of coffee, sure, you're getting the energy, you're getting the benefits that are coming from that might make your day go a little faster and make you get through your fasting window a little easier, but you're actually getting a hormone response that is literally keeping you less hungry. Now moving into number 3. Again, a painfully obvious one, but it's time to back it up with some research. We're talking about sleep. Okay, here's what's really interesting. Research is now finding that as little as 1 to 2 hours of less sleep will actually elicit a 24 to 30% increase in hunger. It literally has a huge impact on how hungry you actually are. Now, also, those that chronically get 7 hours or less sleep end up claiming to be 26% more hungry when it comes to breakfast time, meaning they wake up, they eat, and they're not satisfied. They feel like they need more food. Now, how do you do this while you're fasting? I'm not suggesting that you actually just nap. I've got an added benefit for you. When you are actually in your eating window, when it's time to eat, make sure that you allocate your carbs as much as possible to the outside of your eating window. This is going to cause you to get a lot better sleep. Therefore, you're going to get that deep, rapid eye movement sleep that you need to get the restful sleep that's going to allow you to have more fat burning process and less hunger throughout your actual fasting window the subsequent days. Tip number 4, do I need to say any more than keep busy? Again, studies constantly show that if our prefrontal cortex is occupied, as if we are doing things, consciously doing things, not just subconsciously going through our day, but consciously doing things, time goes faster. Well, at least the perception of time. I'm no Einstein here, but I can at least tell you that the perception of time is different from the reality of time. But if you can perceive that your day is going faster, you're going to get to that eating window a lot faster. And one more little tip to give you within this tip. Stop focusing on the fact that you're going to eat in a couple of hours, because honestly, the more you fixate your mind on when you get to break your fast, the longer it's going to seem. Don't focus on the food, focus on the present. This next tip is a big one, and it's one that's starting to surface a lot in more and more studies, and that is called 5-HTP. It's a supplement that you can take. 5-hydroxytryptophan. What 5-hydroxytryptophan is a hormone, or basically a precursor to a hormone, that is created from tryptophan, an amino acid that we get from various kinds of proteins and some carbohydrates. Well, what 5-hydroxytryptophan does is it helps your body create serotonin. And most of us know by now what serotonin is, whether it's just from the internet or many of my videos where I'm always touting its benefits. But it helps you feel good, but it also helps you feel satiated. So you get a huge benefit from that. There's one study that I thought was pretty interesting regarding 5-HTP. What this study did is it took 20 obese patients. Okay? Half of them, they gave 900 milligrams of 5-HTP, and half of them, they gave a placebo. Okay, what was really interesting is that those that took the 900 milligrams of 5-HTP reported significantly less hunger and ultimately consumed less calories, albeit both ended up losing weight, ironically enough. One more little tip inside this tip is fiber. At the end of your eating window, when you're in your actual eating window outside of your fasting period, try to, again, consolidate most of your fiber towards the end of the day, the end of the meals, simply because what that's going to do is it's going to have a satiation effect the following day. What's really interesting is that just 6 grams of soluble fiber has a satiation effect of 260 calories. So 6 grams of fiber, do the math, let's see, 6 times 4, that's gonna be about 24 total calories from fiber, mimics the effect of 260 calories as far as your hormone signaling goes and as far as your satiation goes. So get that fiber in late at night at the end of your fasting window. I hope that these tips clear some stuff up and prove to you that it's not as hard as you think it is to fast for 16, 18, 20, heck, even 24 hours. You're not gonna burn your muscle. Heck, you're actually going to probably build more and burn more fat. So as always, keep it locked in here with Six Pack Abs. I'm Thomas Delauer, taking you over with science, and make sure you comment below and let us know what you wanna see when it comes to the best way to get six-pack abs with science. I'll see you in the next video.